All right. Well, it's good to see you guys. Mike, I hope your migraine feels a lot better. There's a nice lady that made me the coolest thing I'm going to put on my wall of my other guitar, Smokey Joe, which didn't get to go to Australia. But I get to be here with you guys. And there's a guy in the front row wearing a Padres hat, which is super cool. It makes me feel at home. Thank you for having me here at Tucson Folk Festival in this lovely city. This is a song called A Brief History of My Life. In case you never met me before, this will tell you my whole life story. Right, Brian? Well, we first moved to the USA, all the way from Canada. And we drove across the continent, from Nova Scotia to Pasadena. My sister and me and my mom and dad, from the cold to the sunny south. There were palm trees growing and it was not snowing, and I never did shut my mouth. Well, we drove on over to the courthouse in downtown Los Angeles. We put our hands on a Bible and we swore as a family that we were not communist. When we drove away, I started to cry. They said, "What's wrong, son? Are you sick?" I said, "I don't want to be an American. I want to be a Catholic." We talked Hollywood and baseball in the car. Hey, the voice of Jerry Coleman, man, it would travel really far. Now, Jerry Coleman was the voice of the San Diego Padres. And when he would call a game, sometimes he'd say some of the craziest stuff. But what I loved best was when somebody'd make a great play in the outfield and he'd say, "Ho, ho, ho, doctor, you can hang a star on that baby." Well, I made my first communion in St. Rita's Catholic Church. There was incense a-choking and a priest was smoking, was the choir up in the perch. My face got red and my stomach felt bad. They said, "If you're gonna get sick, use a cup." Well, I thought by the time it was my turn for communion, Jesus would be all eaten up. Hollywood and baseball in the car. Hey, the voice of Vin Scully, man, it would travel really far. Man, we would listen to Vin Scully call the games in the front yard, and it was amazing. He had a reedy, tenor-esque voice, and this is what he sounded like. There's an eerie spiderweb shadow coming into right field at Chavez Ravine. Sandy Koufax walks out to the mound, and he's up to his hips in alligators. 2-2 to Harvey Keene, get your Dodger dog. Well, my allergies were bad, so we moved to the desert to a city called Palm Springs. We trick-or-treated at Liberace's house. Each finger had a diamond ring. We met Elvis Presley in the middle of the summer, and Elvis hugged my sister for far too long. I felt kind of weird, but I would have pimped her out just to hear him sing a song. Hollywood and baseball in the car. Hey, the voice of Harry Carey, man, it would travel really far. Now, Harry Carey was the voice of the Chicago Cubs. What a great announcer he was. His voice wasn't reedy and tenoresque, though. His voice was drunk. And when he called the games, he could never pronounce any Hispanic player's name. He would butcher it. So if the Cubs were playing the Cincinnati Reds and it was the 70s and Davy Concepcion was coming up to bat, listen how Harry Carey would say Davy Concepcion. Coming up at the top of the ninth inning, Dino Consiglione Stein. Get your old style here. Holy cow, Cubs win. Now, one of my earliest memories was John Kennedy getting shot. And my mom was crying and ironing clothes, and my face felt really hot. I watched the funeral on TV. It was there in black and white. I saw a son salute his father's flag-draped coffin, and things did not seem right. Now here I am, a growing-up boy at home on the 4th of July, staring out at the ocean and the fireworks in the sky. I miss my friends who aren't around, ones who passed away. I'm feeling kind of grateful here in Tucson today. Hollywood and baseball in the car. Hey, the voice of Tom Cheek. Man, it'll always travel really far. Now, Tom Cheek was the voice of the Toronto Blue Jays. And being that I was from Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada, the Blue Jays were playing the Philadelphia Phillies back in 1993, trying to repeat as World Series champions. On the mound was Mitch the Wild Thing Williams, pitching for the Phillies. Coming up to bat was Joe Carter. Joe Carter for the Toronto Blue Jays. If he could somehow hit a home run, the Blue Jays would repeat. I was watching with my dad in Palm Springs, California. My dad had a Canadian flag. And Joe Carter came up to bat, and Tom Cheek said this. Joe is having trouble trying to lay off that ball low to the outside part of the plate, and he just went after one. Here's the pitch on the way. 2 balls and 2 strikes. A swing and a belt. Left field. Blue Jays win. The Blue Jays have repeated as World Series champion. And then as Joe Carter touched second base, this was the craziest thing. Tom Cheek said, "Touch 'em all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life." And my dad ran into the front yard naked. The neighbors called the cops. My dad got arrested. It was beautiful. Now, a lot of people told me coming out of the pandemic, they said to me, "Steve, don't get the vaccine. It's got a microchip in it from Bill Gates." Well, I'm here to tell you, it does have a microchip. And through that microchip, I'm able to download the baseball call and order an Uber at the same time. Check it out. This is what it sounded like.
Joe has had his moments trying to lay off that ball low to the outside part of the plate, and he just went after one. 2 balls and 2 strikes on it. Here's the pitch on the way. A swing and a belt. Left field. Way back. Blue Jays win it. The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run in the 9th inning, and the Blue Jays have repeated as World Series champions. Touch 'em all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
We talk Hollywood, baseball in the car. Hey, the voice of Tom Cheek. Man, it'll always travel really far. I get allergies and asthma in the yard. No one ever told me growing up would be so hard. Touch 'em all, Joe. Thank you. It's all true. Now, in this business of folk singing, you get to play cool folk festivals like this one here in Tucson, Arizona, and they put you up at a nice hotel and they give you free food backstage. But it's not always like that. Not every place treats you as good as Tucson, Arizona does on a day like today. Some places, you go in and you don't know what's gonna happen because you're a folk singer traveling the world, and that's what this song's about. I thought about every bad thing that ever happened to me on the road, and I put it all into a song. And then I showed up in Oklahoma City to play a show at the Blue Door, and my friend Greg Johnson saw me and he said, "Steve Poltz, you ain't nothing but a washed-up punk rocker masquerading as a folk singer." And I said, I'm gonna put that into a song right now. So he says I owe him money for a co-write. And this is called Folk Singer for all the folk singers out there in the world, which you guys are all folk singers too. Everything in this song is true. You be pissing in a bottle and you can't see through the fog. You know a trucker jackknifed in the snow up ahead. I shout, "Raid, I got you clocked at 87 and a 55. Cops, I want to search your car because they think you're high." Finally reached the club and they got no posters up. Play to 12 people, half a puking in a cup. Sell 2 CDs, give another 6 away. You're hoping that somebody has a place where you can stay. You got a 10-hour drive. In the morning, don't sweat it. Keep thinking about the gig last night and wish you could forget it. Listen to a podcast, a radio lab. Try to call your mom and end up yelling at your dad. Car needs gas, so you're pulling to the come and go. The weather channel says that you're about to hit some snow. Sell 1 CD, give another 8 away. To add insult to injury, you had to pay to play. Folk singer, folk singer. Washed up punk, but you're still a dead ringer. I'm a folk singer, folk singer for sure. That's your part. Let's see if you got it. Folk singer, folk singer. Washed up punk, but you're still a dead ringer. Folk singer, folk singer for sure. Club owner says you should have played here last week. Right now it's finals and no one makes a peep. He wishes that the money could have been a lot more, but the deal was only for a small percentage of the dough. $27 and a couple foreign bills. Tried to pass the hat, but everyone was high on pills. Play a new song, no applause, just crickets. Bartender says I'll give you 2 drink tickets. Folk singer, folk singer. Washed up punk, but you're still a dead ringer. For sure. Beautiful. Get a big break and get to do some radio, but the DJ says it's taped for next week's show. Does you no good, cause tonight you got the gig. You keep on smiling and dance a little jig. Car starts whining, engine's running hot. Gas station dude says your radiator's shot. Sell 12 CDs, give none away. The radiator took it all, it's Groundhog Day. Folk singer, folk singer. Washed up punk, but you're still a dead ringer. For sure. Get a good offer for a gig in Atlanta, but the airlines send your guitar all the way to Montana. Get a real person on the phone from United. Lose your cool, tell the dude to go bite it. Borrow a guitar to try to cool your rage. Walk into the club and someone else is on stage. Sell no CDs, the club was double booked. You never even got to play, you feel your life is overlooked. Folk singer, folk singer. Washed up punk, but you're still a dead ringer. For sure. Finally get some sleep, there's a nice blue sky. The airlines found your guitar all the way in Dubai. Say that it'll be there for your gig in Tallahassee, but you ate some bad food, feeling kinda gassy. Get a Motel 6, wish it was the Ritz. Least you got a private place because you got the shit tickets, sell 5 hats, 2 CDs. Yes, sir, no, ma'am, thank you, please. Folk singer, folk singer, washed up punk, but you're still a dead ringer. For sure. Manager grabs you right before you play your show and says, I think that you should dye your hair because it's white as snow. That really happened to me because my hair is white and I had this manager and he doesn't even know he's in my song. I won't tell you his name. He used to manage me. He's still a really nice guy. I would not want you to know his name because I was getting ready to go on stage and he said to me one day, dude, have you ever heard of Just for Men? And it was right before I was going on stage, and it totally spooked me. And then he was managing this other band called the Blind Boys of Alabama. Do you know those guys? So the manager told me a story. He said, you can never tell anybody this story because it mentions the Blind Boys of Alabama. So we can keep it between us. They just don't post this on the internet. Apparently, and I'll get back to the chorus of this song, don't worry. I have ADD, ADHD, and I also have ODD, which is oppositional defiance disorder. But, so the manager says to me, he goes, Steve, the Blind Boys of Alabama, we're doing this album, and Lou Reed was doing a record where he got all these different people to be guests on the record. And so Lou Reed wanted the Blind Boys of Alabama to sing on one of his songs. So Lou Reed has the Blind Boys come in, the Blind Boys play, they sing their songs, and then they're blind, so they can't see if Lou Reed's still in the room, obviously. And so the manager leads them into the elevator, and as the elevator doors close, they say to the manager, Charles Dreby, oh wait, I shouldn't have said his name. So they say to they say to Mr. Dreby, they go, is he here? And he goes, who? And he goes, is he here? Lou. And they meaning Lou Reed, and he goes, no, he's not here. And then they go, who told that man he could sing? Can you believe that? I've said too much. Your manager grabs you right before you play your show and says, I think that you should dye your hair because it's white as snow. Girlfriend calls you. As you leave the stage, she saw a picture of you with a chick and now she's in a rage. Break up, break down, break it all to hell. Charging all the damage to your hotel bill. Sell 5 stickers for 50 cents. You're a folk singer now, you're about to make a dent. Folk singer, folk singer. Washed up punk, but still a dead ringer. For sure. Beautiful. I think there's one more verse of bad stuff that happens in this song. Let's see. Finally get some good news from the booking agent dude at the club tonight. They'll give you half off on your food. Place is packed. Gonna make your fee. They wouldn't even turn off the sports TV. Go Padres. Feel like you climbed another rung on the ladder. Another day older, yo, another day fatter. I'm a folk singer now in the pale moonlight. Now time I'm standing on stage in Tucson, Arizona tonight. Folk singer, folk singer. Washed up punk, but still a dead ringer. I'm a washed up punk, still a dead ring. Folksy. Well, I'm a folkity folk-folker, I'm a Bram Stoker joker, I'm a vampire smoker, I'm a motherfucking folker, for sure. Oh. Oh my God. This is the greatest show I've ever played. So, I was playing. If you don't say that every night, that this is the greatest show you've ever played, you gotta wake up every morning and say to yourself, this is the greatest morning I'll ever have. And after 21 days, you'll start believing your own bullshit. It's amazing what you can do. We don't use our minds enough. So we can convince ourselves that everything is the greatest thing ever. You just gotta tell yourself that. And what I want you guys to do is start writing poems. And then invite people over to your house. And then the price of admission for dinner from your friends, everybody has to do a poem that they wrote. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So, because the body makes its own drugs, and who here doesn't love drugs? Right? Unfortunately, I had to give up drinking and drugs 19 years ago, but that's okay. I'm not telling you guys you have to. I ran into a little trouble, so I had to. But what I realized is my body makes its own drugs. And so this way, we are allowed to make poems up. And what we do is when we bring our friends over, everybody does a poem they wrote. And then by doing that, your dinner conversation will be elevated. Your body will release adrenaline. It will give you younger and younger juices. It will give you a spring in your step the next day. So say you invited me over to your house. Here's a poem I just wrote. And this is how you do it. It doesn't even have to rhyme. Here it is. This is called French Toast. When I was 6 years old, I walked into my mom and dad's bedroom early one morning. It was Father's Day. I thought my dad was strangling my mom. But then I realized he was on top of her and his butt was moving up and down. I looked on with a mix of 6-year-old curiosity and horror. I think they saw me. Later that morning, my mom made me French toast with butter and real Canadian maple syrup. Then they let me watch cartoons. See? That's all you gotta do. And you'll become younger. It will be so good for you. Are you with me? That's what I'm talking about. Now, I recently made a record with my friends, the Wood Brothers. And the Wood Brothers are buddies of mine that live right near me in Nashville, Tennessee. And I love them so much. And the name of the record is Stardust Satellites. We have it on vinyl here tonight, and it's gonna be cool. My wife will have it, and we'll sell them if you want. And vinyl's really cool. So we were done with the record, and my friend Jano Ricks, who was one of the producers from the Wood Brothers, said to me, Steve, don't write any more songs. We have the record written. I said, I promise I won't write any more songs. But I can't help but write songs. It's just what I do. And so I said, can you give me a drum beat? I just want to start writing the next record. He goes, the next record? We're not even done with this record. I said, give me a drum beat now. And he did. And he gave me that drum beat, and I went home, and I wrote this song with the drum beat he gave me. And I came in the next morning, and I showed him the song, and you know what he said? He used a different word. I'm going to use the word Siri gives me. He said, duck you. Siri does not like it when I type profanity into my phone. And so he said, duck you. We're recording this song. This is a great song. And I had already infected him with the disease of positivity because he said, this is the greatest song ever. So we see, it's contagious. So we recorded this song, and it's on the record. It's track 3. It's called Can of Pop. You do? 1, One sec, that's me. Something bad just happened. Something bad is still happening. Sorry about that. It's something here, maybe. Hang on. Sometimes if you just unplug things and put them back in, everything works. Okay. Yeah. Honey, let me open up a can of pop. I'm rusty like an old horseshoe. I've been working on an engine in an old chop shop. Wanna feel the fizzy rhythm with you. Had a chance to meet my love in Appaloosas, but I ended up drunk in Albuquerque. Try to fill her head with a bunch of lame excuses. I think she knows I wanna do the herky-jerky. Honey, let me open up a can of pop. I'm rusty like an old horseshoe. I've been working on an engine in an old chop shop. Wanna feel the fizzy rhythm with you. So I asked to try to meet me at a Natchitoches, but a monster chased me down in Chacalaco. And I jump and spray my ankle on a catfish. Now she's left me for some drummer she calls Paco. Honey, let me open up a can of pop. I'm rusty like an old horseshoe. I've been working on an engine in an old chop shop. Wanna feel the fizzy rhythm with you. Let my Bordeaux at the chateau. Let my chapeau down in Tupelo. Lost my left eye from a crossbow. And my wallet way up and got to know. So after saying what the heck, I ended up in Quebec. I passed out in the rain and ended up in a train from Montana to Savannah. Woke up in Louisiana, shouted a Hosanna, and I slipped on a banana. Gave my girl a nod and said, glory be to God. Honey, let me open up a can of pop. I'm rusty like an old horseshoe. I've been working on an engine in an old chop shop. Wanna feel the fizzy rhythm with you. So I finally talked her into going to Kickapoo. At the motel, we did a little research. My father found out and his face turned blue. Now we're getting married over at the Catholic church. Honey, let me open up a can of pop. I'm rusty like an old horseshoe. I've been working on an engine in an old chop shop. Wanna feel the fizzy rhythm with you. I wanna feel the fizzy rhythm with you. I wanna feel the fizzy rhythm with you. I wanna feel the fizzy rhythm with you. Thank you, everybody. Do you guys want to hear a brand new song? Okay, good. Even if you said no, I would have done it. But I'm glad you said yes. This is so new. This song is so new. It just came out of the womb. It's breastfeeding. I hope you like it. It's called Thoughts and Prayers. Here goes. Thoughts and prayers, everything's in disrepair. Politicians, they don't care, now we get our thoughts and prayers. It ain't safe to go outside, everybody duck and hide. I just want to be a farmer, now I need some body armor. Children trying to go to school, shot at by a crazy fool. I walk outside and I feel scared, all we get are thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers, everything's in disrepair. Politicians, they don't care, now we get our thoughts and prayers. You ain't safe in a grocery store. People mowed down on the floor, all because their skin was black, giving me a heart attack. Say they need to do research for tax-free guns in a church. In return, we're met with stares, and all we get are thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers, everything's in disrepair. Politicians, they don't care, and all we get are thoughts and prayers. You can't pass a bill today, you're held hostage by the NRA. Try and make a simple change, you'll get tossed in a shooting range. Teachers used to have more fun, now they want to give them guns. Bullets free for kids to share, all we get are thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers, everything's in disrepair. Politicians, they don't care, and all we get are thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers, everything's in disrepair. Politicians, they don't care, and all we get are thoughts and prayers. Thank you. It's always fun doing new songs because the new songs give you that adrenaline rush. Just like when I did that poem. There's something about doing a new song. I don't know what it is. And I hope you guys go home tonight and you write songs. Even if you've never written a song, anybody can do it. It's a beautiful thing to try. And that's all you can do is just try. And then make it your own personal journal. And you do these songs, and these songs will become your best friends. And you never know what they're going to grow up to be. I wrote this song with a girl named Jewel, and this song paid all the bills for all my other songs to be written. All my other songs are sucking off the teat of this song. This song is the government assistance food stamp program for all my other songs. And I'm lucky that I wrote it with Jewel because it sent my mom and dad. God bless them. They're watching hopefully up in heaven. And I got a check for this song that was real big. And I sent my mom and dad on an Alaskan cruise. And they were 88 years old. My mom died at 88, not on the cruise. And and my dad made it to 90. And he was sharp. And so was my mom. And you would have loved my mom, you guys. She was a strict Catholic mom. She was an English teacher. She made me really study and do creative writing and get good grades. And she always said to me, Stephen, remember 3 things when you're writing a song. Who was there, what happened, and how did it make you feel? And that was cool. And she was so strict, raised me strict Catholic. And then about a year before she died, she called me up and she said, Steve, I want to try marijuana. And to hear your own mom say that at the age of 88 is not a normal thing to hear. Especially when your mom was as strict as my mom. And I was in Nashville, Tennessee, and you can't just buy weed at the Apple store like you can in all these other states. Not in Tennessee where I live, it's strict. And so you have to go to the pizza parlor and buy it from the 18-year-old kid who makes pizzas with zits on his face. So my mom really wanted some weed. And I didn't want to tell her I'd gotten sober 9 years ago because that would have meant I had a problem with drugs. And I was still scared of her, even though I was in my 60s. Like I'm 64 now, right? And she died about 4 years ago. And so I don't want to tell her I had to go to rehab. So I just went to buy her some weed because she really wanted to smoke it. So I went to the dude at the pizza parlor and I said, hey, can you get my mom some weed? And then he looked at me really weird. And he said, yeah. And the guy that sold him it pulled up in a Prius. And he got out and he had a briefcase on him. And the guy that sold him the weed sounded like he was Jack Nicholson. It was the weirdest thing. And he goes like this, what's your mom having trouble with? Is she having trouble with anxiety? Is she having trouble with her appetite? Is she having trouble sleeping? And I was like, I guess all those things. And he goes, and marijuana has changed since I was a kid and I bought it at the swap meet in Palm Springs back in the 70s. And so he said to me, I'll get your mom some indica. Indica stands for indicouch. And so I was like, all right. And so I had to go visit my parents at their assisted living facility. And my dad was so scared they were going to get kicked out because of the weed. And he goes, I don't want any of that, the pot in our place. And so I said to the kid from the pizza parlor, can you teach my mom how to smoke weed? Because she can't know I went to rehab. So I'm like confiding all this stuff to an 18-year-old kid. He's like, you're telling me too much info. I go, dude, just act like I smoked it. Hand me it if you have a way, but she can't know I have a drug problem. And so my mom's really strict. She'll think I was a disappointment because I got sober. And so I know it sounds weird, right? So he goes in, and we knock on the door in my mom and dad's place. And my mom's like 5'2", 90 pounds. And she opened the door, and this is how I want to remember my mom. She opened the door and saw the both of us, and she goes, keep it cool. Keep it cool. So he fires up this vape pen, and he clicks it 3 times, and he shows her. But after he takes 2 hits off of it, he passes out on the couch. Like, that's how strong this stuff was. And my dad goes, how am I going to get rid of a dead body? And he was so angry. And I was poking the guy. And then my mom took a hit of it anyways. And her left eye went lazy. I'd never seen her like that. I didn't know what eye to look at. And she was trying to talk to me. And I was looking to the left. And she was like, why aren't you looking at me? And her eye was over there. And then my dad goes, well, I want to try it. So I called him up the next morning. And I was like, hey, Mom, how's it going? And normally she'd go, how you doing there, eh? Because she had a Canadian accent. And I called her up. I go, Mom, how'd it go last night? And she goes, pretty good. Your father got up and ate all the Cherry Garcia. So I just want to send that out to my mom because I hope she's watching from wherever we end up. Here's the song that paid the bills for my mom and dad to go on that cruise. I hear the clock is 6 a.m. I feel so far from where I've been. I got my eggs, I got my pancakes too. Got my maple syrup, everything but you. I break the yolks, make a smiley face. I kinda like it in my brand new place. I wipe the spots off of the mirror, don't leave the keys in the door. I never put wet towels on the floor anymore, 'cause dreams last for so long, even after you're gone. And I know that you love me, and soon I know you will see you were meant for me, and I was meant for you. I called my mom, but she was out for a while. I consoled a cup of coffee, but it didn't want to talk. Picked up the paper, it was more bad news. More hearts being broken, more people being used. Put on my coat in the pouring rain. I saw a movie, but it wasn't the same. 'Cause it was happy, I was sad. Made me miss you, oh so bad. 'Cause dreams last for so long, even after you're gone. I know that you love me, and soon I know you will see you were meant for me, and I was meant for you. I go about my business, I'm doing fine. Besides, what would you say if I had you on the line? Same old story, not much to say. Hearts are broken every day. Oh yeah. This song got so popular, it sold 15 million records. And that means I got to really send my mom and dad on that Alaskan cruise. And my dad took $500 out of my account because he had access to it, and he turned it into $5,000 because he played blackjack on the cruise. And he told me a story I will never forget as long as I live. He goes, Stevie, I ran out of money in my ATM, but I knew your PIN number and I have your card. So I took $500 out, and I was thinking, I will pay him back. He goes, but I won $5,000, and I came back to the room with $5,000 in cash. And your mom, she might have been 88 years old, but she was sleeping naked. Remember that time we gave you French toast? And I was like, I don't want to hear about it. He goes, well, it happened. So this song ended up sending me and Jewel to sing it at Woodstock 99, the Woodstock with the riots. Remember that one? Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's called Trainwreck, Woodstock 99. It's a 3-part series. I'm in part 2 for 5 seconds. And I'm backstage, and they were giving all the rock stars free Converse All-Star tennis shoes, and they threw me a pair, and I caught it, and this is what I said. You guys are cool for hooking us up, man. That's it. I can't tell you, I got about 800 texts from 800 different friends because everybody saw it on Netflix, that one little thing. And what they didn't know was the riots were happening, and when we got up and played You Were Meant for Me, all the riots stopped. And I remember thinking to myself, I wrote a love song that stopped riots. And I was so proud at Woodstock 99 because we were the second to the last band to go on, right before the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And Flea was getting ready to go on stage with the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And we got off stage, and I said, man, it's getting crazy out there. And Flea was going on stage naked. He didn't even have a sock over his wiener like normal. No, Flea went on, and you could see it on Trainwreck 99. It's worth it just to see that, because he should not be named Flea. So he saw me, and he played bass on that song, and he goes, hey, Poltzy, what did you think of my bass line? But I'm standing next to Jewel looking at Flea, and he's naked, holding his bass, about to go on. Where do you look? Do you look him in the eyes, or do you look down at his wiener? I had to look down at his wiener. But it was like the hole in the wiener where the pee comes out. That's called the urethra. That thing started talking to me. And it had a really deep voice. It was like, it sounded like this.
Hey, Poltzy, what did you think of the bass line I played? It was crazy, wasn't it?
So Flea got ready to go on stage, and he goes to high-five me, but rather than high-five him, I low-dicked him. I couldn't help it, man. I had to. So then they went on stage, and they were like, but they didn't do that. I'm going to go straight into the thing. Are you with me? I'll remember right where I was. I'll remember right where I was. Right here. Sam, are you there? Hey, buddy. Cool, here goes. See? How about a round of applause for Sam? I kept calling him Ben earlier. The sound man came up to me before the show. He was checking my levels and he said, "You might have a problem when you go." I said, "Okay, Ben." And he said, "My name is Sam." I said, "I'm sorry, I knew it was 3 letters." But that's how good the staff here are at the Tucson Folk Festival. So what's crazy is, Flea and the Red Hot Chili Peppers go on, and you start hearing, "What I got to give it to your mama? What I got to give it to your papa?" And that's when the riots really started. People were setting porta potties on fire, so Jewel says to me, "Let's get out of here." So we went to a bar near Woodstock. And then Jewel went to sleep, and I went into this bar, and there was this many people there. And there was a girl there, and she was singing her version of "You Were Meant for Me." You guys, I couldn't believe this was happening. But she got to the chorus, and she goes, "Dreams last so long, even after you're gone." So she was nailing it. And then she goes, "I know that you love me, and soon I know you will see." But then instead of saying "you were meant for me," she goes, "You were made for me, and I was made for you." And I was sitting back there, and everybody was quiet, like this crowd. And I thought, should I correct her? And I couldn't help myself. I had one of those Larry David moments. So I go, "Meant." And then she goes, "What?" And I go, "It's you were meant for me, not you were made for me." And she goes, "No, it's not. It's you were made for me." And then I go, "I'm pretty sure it's you were meant for me." And then the whole crowd looked at me, and they turned around and they go, "She's right. It's you were made for me." And then I go, "No, it's not. I wrote the freaking song." And then everybody started laughing at me, like in that movie Carrie. They all started laughing, and they go, "Ha ha ha, he wrote the song, yeah, right." And then the security guard came up and he goes, "Excuse me, sir, you're gonna have to leave." And I said, "One day I'll be at the Tucson Folk Festival. It'll be 2024. You'll see. Can I get a hallelujah? Can I get a hallelujah?" Let's do this chorus. Dreams last so long, even after you're gone. I know you love me. Soon I know you will see. Here you go. You were made. No, man. You guys are jerks. Try it again. Yeah, you. And I was for you. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at this. That part of the crowd likes me more than that part of the. Oh, wait, no. Let's call this my encore. I love it. Tucson Folk Festival is the best festival. I wish there was a quicker way to say best festival. Bestival. Tucson Folk Festival is bestival. That's good. That works, right? I think it does. Tucson Festival is bestival. Yeah, that's how it goes.
Tucson Folk Festival is the best of all. Tucson Festival is the best of all. Tucson Festival is the best of all. The best of all I ever saw. Tucson Festival. Tucson Festival Folk Festival is the best of all place that I've ever been. Yeah, Tucson Folk Festival is the best of all. The best festival that I ever been. Yeah.
How about a round of applause for Sam, on the phone? How about a round of applause? How? All right, Sam, this goes out to you. Thank you. Do you know that you have a beautiful beard? And all I really wanted in my life when I got into this folk racket is for all my friends to be happy. That was it. That was all I wanted. And when I was a kid, I went to show and tell when I was 6 years old, and I brought my guitar. And I didn't know I would one day write a song like this called I Want All My Friends to Be Happy. And it would have a part in the song where we would tell cancer to go duck off. But when I wrote it with something else. And I had a dream that one day I'd play here and we would sing this song and we would tell cancer exactly what we thought of it. And maybe I can come back to Tucson again. I want all my friends to be happy. I want all my friends to find love. I want all my friends to share good things and be blessed by the light from above. I want all my friends to be hopeful, not to be slaves to a bank. I hope that my friends never have to roll through the streets in a tank. I want all my friends to have kitchens locked up with bountiful food. I hope they wake with a smile and say words like, let's all go to the Tucson Folk Festival after flying 15 hours from Australia. Come on, dude. I want all my friends to know laughter, uncontrollable from deep in the gut. I want all my friends to have fine shoes and to pat someone cute on the butt. With their permission, of course. I had to update that song 4 years ago. I want all my friends to go travel and to see the world for just what it is. A beautiful place to inhabit. It's a big melting pot made of jizz. I needed a word to rhyme with is. My mom was like, why didn't you say bliss? It's like, I never thought of that, Mom. Shoot. And it was too late because the song had already been recorded. So if you listen to it, I apologize. I couldn't think of a better rhyme for the word is. So let's try it together. A big melting pot made of bliss. A big melting pot made of... I want all my friends to dance naked. So my mom also used to say to me there was a difference between naked and naked. Naked is spelled N-A-K-E-D. Naked is spelled N-E-K-K-E-D. Naked is when you're naked. Naked is when you're naked and up to no good. I I want all my friends to dance naked so that all of their neighbors can see. I want them all to be colorblind and to keep those skinhead racists far away from me. I want all my straight friends to love all of the gay friends I have. I'd love it if we all went to dinner, maybe over at Club Congress, 'cause my gay friends always pick up the tab. I want all my friends to be healthy, and when they see kale, not just to scoff. I'm talking about JJ Kale. I want them to live long and prosper, and to tell cancer to just go. Yeah, to tell cancer to just go. This time just whisper it like Children of the Corn. Cancer gets more scared if you don't yell at it, because everybody yells at it to go to duck off. So what you do is you go, tell cancer to just go, duck off, like that. And to tell cancer to just go. Beautiful. Do you want to try the next level of the video game? This time, let's just think it. Just think it and send it out to somebody who needs it. Maybe you already lost that person, but they're listening from above. So this time I'm going to say, tell cancer to just go, and you just think the duck off. So here goes. Yeah, to tell cancer to just go. I want all my friends to know one thing. The one day when I'm long dead and gone, I want them to know that I love them, and that's why I wrote them this song. Let me hear you guys. I want all my friends to be happy. I want all my friends to be happy. I want all my friends to find love. Big ending. I want all my friends to find love. I want all my friends to share good things. I want all my friends to share good and be blessed by the light from above. And be blessed by the light from above. Ba-di-di-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-di-di-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-di-di-da-da, meow, meow, meow. Ba-di-di-da-da. I told you to get my Levi's off of there 15 minutes ago. What? I ordered an Arnold Palmer too. That's the strangest thing I've ever heard. A zinger, zinger, zinger. Come on. I want all my friends to be happy. Thank you so much. God bless you, Tucson. Yeah. Thanks so much. I'll be over there by the records, wherever those are. Where are they, Sharon? Oh, right there.